Ashim Samanta, son of the great Shakti Samanta.
Aradhana, Patang, Amar Prem, you can never recreate.
There has been a statement by Moushumi Chatterjee stating that she was supposed to do Barsat Ki Ek Raat, and then your dad told her, no, you leave the film, आपके heroes के साथ tuning नहीं है.
Very often, actors are not very comfortable working with certain heroines.
So maybe Amitabh Bachchan told Shakti Samanta.
Possible. Sharmila ji did have a chat with me once and she was saying, oh, I would have done Kati Patang, but unfortunately I was pregnant. So I told her, well, you got something better. You got Saif. She said, oh, of course. So,
Anurodh, who suggested Simple's name?
Rajesh Khanna.
Dimple's sister. Uska career shuru hua hai.
She was not made to be a heroine actually.
Pushpa, I hate tears. वो अमर प्रेम का dialogue.
That dialogue was also there in the Bengali version. Uttam Kumar had said it the same way.
But Rajesh Khanna का ज़्यादा famous हुआ. You said that your brother Sameer, he has kept your mother in custody.
That's a very unfortunate part of my life. Look at Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan, Salman Khan, all these guys. Even they're 60, even, okay, now they're looking a little bit old, but until 55 or so, they were looking so handsome.
Barsat Ki Ek Raat, why do you think it didn't do as well in Hindi?
When the Bengali shots were taken, I could see Amit ji and Amjad ji putting in their 100%. And in Hindi, they took it easy. That extra effort was not there at all.
Sharmila throws water and Rajesh Khanna is standing at the door.
वो पानी फेंका किसने वो पता नहीं. शर्मिला ने नहीं फेंका होगा, वो किसी डैड ने फेंका होगा या तो कोई असिस्टेंट ने फेंका होगा. अलग-अलग Rajesh Khanna said that I want to play this role with Tina. So dad told him that Kaka, this role is not suitable for you.
They were dating that time.
Anil Kapoor walked out. He said that I was doing the film as a second role only because Dilip Kumar was playing the main role. Now with Rajesh Khanna, I wouldn't like to play.
Can you imagine anybody in place of Asha Parekh in Kati Patang?
Madhuri Dixit or Kajol, Deepika Padukone.
Sharmila in Amar Prem and Aradhana.
The same three.
Why didn't you make films with these three? If you are so sure about their acting abilities. We have a very special guest today, Ashim Samanta, son of the great Shakti Samanta. Thank you, Ashim, for joining me on the Vickey Lalwani show.
My pleasure, Vicky.
Shakti Samanta needs no introduction. I am still wondering and calculating the number from where he started, 1954. 48 years that man made movies.
Yes.
I am going to start this interview by asking you a very different question from the ones which, the interviews which you have done. And there has been a statement by a leading heroine, Moushumi Chatterjee, stating that she was supposed to do Barsat Ki Ek Raat, and then your dad told her, no, you leave the film, आपके heroes के साथ tuning नहीं है. So tell us what had happened.
I heard about this, that she has said this, and it may be true that maybe she was considered for it, but then not eventually taken. That is very possible.
No, but is it possible that your dad may have told her this, that आपके heroes के साथ tuning नहीं है?
हो सकता है. You see, what happens is very often actors are not very comfortable working with certain heroines, for whatever personal reasons they may have. So it is very possible that a hero says that किसी और को ले लो ना यार, इनके साथ मेरा इतना अच्छा tuning नहीं है.
So maybe Amitabh Bachchan told Shakti Samanta.
Possible. I have no idea, because two people's conversation. My father was not a person who would make an issue of anything that is not so important.
Your father wanted to make a film with Dilip Kumar.
Yeah.
And Rajesh Khanna, his favorite, that time had started his second innings with Sautan and Avatar.
Yes.
And he literally sat with him and said, "Nahi, mere ko ye role chahiye."
Yeah, this is an interesting story. What had happened is there was this story which we made into Awaz. Dad had directed the film. And the story of ours was of a criminal lawyer, again based on a person we knew. I don't want to name him, but he was a criminal lawyer. So Dad and he were good friends, the criminal lawyer, and he had told him that, Dad had asked him that, don't you feel you're guilty when you fight for the criminals? So he said, that's my profession. And I'm a good lawyer, so I get such cases and I fight them. It's purely my profession, so I don't have any guilt about that. So Dad was very fascinated with this answer, and he thought of making a movie on that, and he created the entire story. So for that, Dad had just spoken very casually to Dilip Kumar Sahab that this is the idea, would you play the role? So he said, you develop the screenplay fully and then come to me and I like the idea, so I will do it. After that, what happened is Sautan and Avatar became super duper hits of Rajesh Khanna, and one evening he came home and he just sat there and said that, Shakti da, you have to take me in your next film. Until you sign me, I'm not getting up from here. Obviously, they were such close friends. So Kaka didn't have to repeat his line. They just hugged each other. And because this subject was ready, so he said, okay, you're doing this. Now what happened is, once Kaka came in, Anil Kapoor, who was already signed, and Meenakshi Seshadri was signed, Anil Kapoor walked out. He said that I was doing the film as a second role only because Dilip Kumar was playing the main role. Now with Rajesh Khanna, I wouldn't like to play a secondary role. Even Meenakshi walked out.
Because Anil walked out.
Because Anil walked out.
She wanted a big hero.
Obviously.
So she could have waited till you get Anil's replacement.
Yeah.
Or did she come to know that you have signed up Rakesh Roshan?
I don't remember exactly when she walked out. Maybe after we signed Rakesh Roshan. So what happened is, after that we couldn't get any, no other actor was ready to work as a second hero with Rajesh Khanna, because that role was not so important as such. It was a good role, but not a lengthy role. So obviously nobody wanted to work. And so now what happened, the screenplay had to be changed a bit, because that was an era where songs were an important integral part of making movies. So now who will sing the songs? In the original script, Dilip Kumar was not going to be singing any songs. So now we had to shift, and now because we did not get now Anil Kapoor, Meenakshi Seshadri singing and romancing, people are going to accept it perfectly. But with Rakesh Roshan and Supriya Pathak, it wouldn't be something that the audience would like to watch. So we had just had one romantic duet of the two of them. Otherwise, the screenplay got changed and Rajesh Khanna was singing the songs. Now that is what spoiled the story.
Did Rajesh Khanna ask that the songs need to be picturized on?
No. He did not ask or anything. He didn't demand anything. But my father himself thought of, integrating this story in such a way that he is going to be singing. And that definitely spoiled the movie. So the movie, which I personally felt that movie would have been one of Dad's best films, became an average grosser. So
did you tell your dad that don't do this shifting of songs, etc.?
No, that time we didn't realize. It's, looking back, you realize what went wrong.
And you think if Dilip Saab had done it, it would have turned out better?
Oh yeah, I think that would have been a super hit. Even today, I think if I get an opportunity, I would have liked to make that movie.
With whom then now?
Well, there are enough people today.
Like who? Who would you?
I would cast maybe Anil Kapoor for that role. Maybe I would cast Sunny Deol for that role.
Mm-hmm.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of remaking some of your dad's films?
You see, the only film that can be remade or get inspired and remade are, one is Awaz, one is Chinatown. That's about it. And Amanush. Amanush is a fabulous film that can be remade. But Aradhana, Kati, Patang, Amar Prem cannot be touched because you can never recreate that. So when you recreate something which is going to be inferior, what sense does it make? Just see two super hit films, fabulous films, Victoria 203 and Zanjeer were remade and they bombed. So that gives you an idea that classics or super duper hits which are evergreen should never be remade. But you see, Amanush was a super duper hit that time. But today people have forgotten that film. So it can be remade. Awaz did not fare so well. So that with the original screenplay can be made, and I'm very confident that movie is a sure shot hit. And Howrah Bridge, maybe. But Chinatown is an evergreen subject. And though remakes of that have been done or inspired from there, and they made Dawn, then Double Impact, these two movies were inspired from Chinatown. Though they are not exactly Chinatown, but they are inspired. Other movies, I don't think so. Yeah.
लोग आए होंगे आपके पास रीमेक के लिए, राइट्स के लिए?
Yes, somebody did come to me for Aradhana's remake. But I told him that don't remake it because there is no chance that audience would accept an inferior version. And I'm quite sure you cannot make a superior version.
And he accepted?
Yeah, he said, let me think, and he went away. Yeah, he didn't come back.
And who is this somebody?
I don't know how to name him.
I think Rajesh Khanna also wanted to remake Aradhana. He kept telling Shakti Samanta that you should remake it. There was some conversation between the two.
Okay, I'm not aware of that. But I'm quite confident that these 3-4 movies should not be remade ever. See, for example, Kashmir Ki Kali and Evening in Paris also, you cannot remake because nobody can be better than Shami Kapoor. So, what sense does it make? People would immediately, compare, and that's where you are dead. It happened with Victoria 203.
Yeah.
It happened with Zanjeer.
Can you imagine anybody in place of Asha Parekh in Kati Patang? Wearing that one white sari except for that one scene in the beginning.
Yeah. I think in her time, Madhuri Dixit or Kajol, Deepika Padukone could have played that role.
They could have done this role. Yeah. And anybody who can imagine doing a Sharmila in Amar Prem and Aradhana?
The same three?
Yeah?
Yeah. They could. They're very, very talented.
Why didn't you make films with these three?
Well,
Deepika, Kajol, Madhuri.
Yeah.
If you are so sure about their acting abilities, and I'm not discounting them, then why didn't you make? You reached out to them?
No, I did not. After 2005, I thought making movies, Hindi movies was a tough job. Number one, actors had become very selective about working in movies. They did not want to do more than 1 or 2 movies a year. Their fees were exorbitant. And the total cost of making a movie was humongous. So, you could make a movie perhaps for some company who would finance and all that stuff. But what you eventually get out of it is 10% or 20% of the whole stake. So when you put in 100% and you get 20%, it doesn't make sense to me.
Did you attempt? Did you try?
No, I did not even try.
Nothing?
No. I did make a couple of movies and they bombed. One was Don Muthuswamy with Mithun. This was 2008.
Okay.
And 2012 I attempted launching My Son. And that also bombed. So then I said, firstly, if you don't get big actors, and getting big actors for someone who has not had a hit in the past 2-3 years is almost like impossible. They would not work. They want to do only 2-3 films in a year max on the outer limit. And they have 20 offers, so why should they do my film? So why waste my time even approaching them? It would be just wasting your time.
But you didn't try making another film with your son. I mean, normally fathers wouldn't have stopped after the first film.
No, he himself said, I don't want to work.
Aditya.
Yeah. Ye Jo Mohabbat Hai, he did.
Yeah.
But firstly, he was not very happy with the story.
Of Ye Jo Mohabbat Hai.
Ye Jo Mohabbat Hai. But he didn't tell me this earlier. He told me this after the movie was made. Anyway, that was something that it was in our bad luck that it happened. And looking back, then you think of many things.
You weren't happy with your dad's Devdas, I guess.
Devdas, I was not happy. I didn't want him to make Devdas because Leela Bhansali was making such a gigantic film with Shah Rukh Khan and Madhuri Dixit and Aishwarya Rai, and I mean, you can't get bigger than that. And so I told him, why do you want to make it? He said, no, in Bengali it will. So I said, let him fulfill his wish. So that's what happened.
And then you told him after the release, मैंने बोला था.
No. It's okay. It's part of the game. These things happen.
You said you can imagine Kajol, Madhuri and Deepika in the roles played by Asha Parekh and Sharmila in
Oh yes, definitely. They are fabulous
Kati,
actresses.
Patang, Aradhana, Amar Prem.
Yeah.
Shami Kapoor you can't replace, you're saying.
Shami Kapoor, I
An Evening in Paris, Kashmir Ki Kali. Okay, fine.
You can't.
Can you imagine somebody in place of Rajesh Khanna in Aradhana, Amar Prem, Kati Patang? Even Anurag for that matter?
Aradhana is difficult. एक बार हो चुका जो हो चुका. But a similar type of film, yes, of course. When Shah Rukh Khan, Salman and Amir were younger, they definitely would have suited something similar. See, remaking and making something similar type of that genre, yes, there are so many heroes who can do that. Today, Ranbir Kapoor can do that. I mean, he's a terrific actor, fabulous actor, and a good-looking boy. So he can definitely do it. So all these there are so many people, so many of them who can.
Some of the heroes you approached to work second fiddle to Rajesh Khanna in Awaaz. They said no.
I'm not aware who Dad approached, but I think he couldn't get anybody. Yeah.
My question here is that, of course, you got Rakesh Roshan eventually, but my question here is that was Rajesh Khanna a difficult actor to work with? Because it is said that he was temperamental, moody. Some people say he was arrogant.
See, Rajesh Khanna was very different with us. With Dad, he was like a brother. I mean, he considered Dad an elder brother and Dad considered him a younger brother, and the relationship remained that way throughout, from the start to the end. So Rajesh Khanna, and he thought it was his banner, simple as that. So when you think it is your own banner, then obviously he is going to behave very well. So Rajesh Khanna and Dad shared a fabulous relationship. Dad shared a very good relationship with all his heroes, co-producers, co-directors, everybody. So he had a very good way of interacting with people. So the entire industry respected him and were all very close to him. I don't think we have got troubled by anybody ever. So it has been, God has been kind and
smooth sailing.
Very smooth sailing.
But you haven't answered my question. You said he was different with y'all. Rajesh Khanna was different with y'all.
Yeah.
But how was he with others?
I wouldn't know, because I have heard stories that he was not very comfortable. I mean, he was not very easy to work with. But I'm sure with Jayam Prakash or Yash Chopra ji and several others, Rishida, he must have been very good. Maybe with some producer directors who were not of a certain status, he may have been difficult. But I have read about it, yes, in the newspapers, in the magazines, and people talk about it.
You said your dad and Rajesh Khanna were very close. So was dad in touch with him even as he was growing old?
Yes.
And Rajesh Khanna was also growing old?
Yeah.
As the years went by?
Yeah, he came to our place. Dad met him very often, quite often, in fact, I would say. In fact, I remember him coming over to my place, I think somewhere in 2008, as late as that.
Okay, just a year before your dad passed away.
Yeah. And he met my son Aditya, and we were thinking of launching Aditya, so he arranged his hair. Rajesh Khanna arranged Aditya's hair and said, when you become a star, you can say Rajesh Khanna styled my hair.
Wow. And did he keep that same hairstyle in
I don't know what he had done so many years back.
his debut film?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember. I also remember one thing. He bringing a small bottle of red label Johnny Walker whiskey. And he told me, pour this for me. So then Dad told me that Kaka does not drink any other whiskey. He only drinks red label. So by then, everybody used to drink single malt and or black label. But Kaka still maintaining red label right from his first film or even before his first film. So he was... So that bottle, I mean, he had 2 pegs and then he left the bottle and went away. So several years later, during the lockdown, my brother-in-law who lives across our house, he would come every day and drink. So he said, let's finish all the open bottles first. So he finished all the open bottles. And then the last open bottle was this red label which he saw. So I did not offer him that because it was not a premium whiskey. But he said, no, I'll finish that. Then I was wondering, where did this red label come from? Then after a few days, I remembered, after he had finished that bottle.
वो रख दिया था बाकी.
वो खत्म हो गया था, जो बाकी पड़ा था, he finished that. तो मैंने उसको उस दिन कहा कि अरे याद आया आज मुझे कि Rajesh Khanna had brought this bottle. So he said, this bottle that I consumed now becomes more premium than all the most expensive whiskies because Rajesh Khanna had brought this bottle. I'm going to tell all my friends and relatives now that I had whiskey which Rajesh Khanna had bought.
From the same bottle.
Same bottle, yeah.
Why I asked you that question, were they close even as the years went by?
Oh,
because
yes, they were.
because what I know is that Rajesh Khanna was very lonely towards his last days.
That's what I heard too, yeah. But I see, whenever we met, we were very good. I mean, he was fine. He was in his old spirits. It was not that he seemed disillusioned or sad or anything like that. Whenever I met him even after he had cancer.
Okay, you went across.
I went to his place and he seemed absolutely fine. In fact, I asked him, there was one story which my father had liked and he wanted me to make that with Aditya. That is another fantastic story which Dad was very, very fond of. He told me that this movie is going to be a sure shot hit, take Aditya and make it. But Aditya refused to do that because he said that, Dad, this is a very difficult role. It's about a lame boy. And he said that I don't want to play Langda in my first film. And in that film, there was a very good role for Rajesh Khanna. Just 5, 7, 8 days work. So I had approached him for that. And he said, of course I will do it. And so I thought, though he has cancer and there is a risk on his life, but I'll finish it in one schedule. And he looked nice that day. He looked very sharp because he had lost some weight and he was looking really dashing absolutely for his age. And he was telling me, Gano, of course I'm not going to be singing, I know, your son will be singing, but you call me for the sittings. your dad always called me for the sittings. I said, sure, I will. And then soon after that, and then my son refused to do that film, so then that never happened. Yeah,
That was 2009?
2009 maybe. Maybe no, 2010. Sorry,
2010.
Dad had passed away. 2010. Yeah.
How heroes were so much interested, in those days with the songs. They used to go for the recording sessions. They used to be so much involved.
Yes.
आजकल तो I don't think they even know that कौन से गाने हैं उनके पिक्चर में.
Yeah, it's a sad thing.
And I'm not exaggerating.
It's a sad thing. Even Shammi uncle was very, very into his songs. He would go for the sittings, and he was very involved with the songs. And it's very important to be involved with the songs because in Indian films, songs play a very, very, very important part, which today's filmmakers are not realizing. I don't know why, but it's... See, today every Hollywood film is dubbed. At least the important films are dubbed in Hindi. So why should an audience go to watch a Hindi film? He can watch the foreign films if they are similar type of stories without songs, etc. They can watch those dubbed versions. Why should they? Which are made with gigantic budgets and at a fabulous scale. They go to see Hindi films only. The only difference is they don't have songs, we have songs. And that itself is no more there. There are such few good songs these days because the situations are not good. For good songs, you may have to have good romantic situations so that good songs come out of it. That's not there in the stories.
But do you think we really have sufficient number of course there are a few around, there's sufficient number of music directors, lyric writers, singers who are of the caliber of Lakshmikant Pyarelal, Kalyanji Anandji, Shankar Jaikishan, Kishore Kumar, Lata, Manna Dey, Asha Bhosle, so many.
Maybe not, but maybe yes. You see, I had spoken to Adesh Srivastav once. He had released one private album. And the songs he had composed for that were mind-blowing, superb. So I asked him one day, Yaar Adesh, your private album has songs which are mind-blowing. None of your film songs have been anywhere close to those songs. Why is it? So he told me that क्या करूं आशिमदा, मुझे कोई मौका ही नहीं देता है. आज की कहानियों में जो सिचुएशंस आते हैं उनमें जो गाने दे रहा हूँ वही बनेंगे. ये जो मैंने प्राइवेट एल्बम बनाया इसीलिए डेस्परेशन में बनाया कि यार कोई मुझे उस टाइप के ब्यूटीफुल मेलोडियस सॉन्ग्स देने का अपॉर्चुनिटी तो दे.
लव स्टोरी, इमोशंस.
एग्जैक्टली. आप देखिए सैयारा में कितने अच्छे गाने हैं और सुपर डुपर हिट भी हुआ है विद न्यू स्टार कास्ट. Why? Because the songs are fabulous.
आप कह रहे हैं कि आदेश ने बोला कि मुझे वो सिचुएशंस ही नहीं दे रहे हैं. आजकल तो मैंने ऐसे भी सुना है कि उनको बताया भी नहीं जाता है कि सिचुएशन क्या है. सिर्फ फ़ोन किया जाता है कि सुनो एक रोमांटिक सॉन्ग चाहिए, सुनो एक फास्ट सॉन्ग चाहिए.
Exactly.
मतलब
Yeah, so it's unfortunate ना. It's unfortunate.
आपने भी सुना होगा ऐसा.
मैंने सुना. अब देखिए मैंने एक इंटरव्यू सुना था आनंद बख्शी जी का. उनको इंटरव्यूअर ने उनसे पूछा कि आप सुभाष घाई के लिए और जे ओम प्रकाश के लिए और शक्ति समंता के लिए इतने सुपर डुपर हिट गाने लिखते हैं लेकिन बाकियों के लिए नहीं लिखते हैं. तो उन्होंने बोला ये जो नाम आपने लिए 4-5 और भी 5-7 हैं जो लोग जब कहानी बनाते हैं, जब सिचुएशंस बनाते हैं, दैट इज़ अ इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ द स्टोरी. और उसमें अपने आप गाने की जो सिचुएशन है उसके बोल जो हैं वो अपने आप वो सिचुएशन से ही निकल आता है. तो इसीलिए वो गाने इतने इन लोगों के लिए अच्छे बनते हैं. Which makes all the sense and it answers all the questions.
शक्ति सामंता साहब को मतलब डैड को एग्जैक्टली लास्ट में क्या हुआ था? He passed away, I read somewhere, while he was undergoing physiotherapy.
Yes, what had happened is he had enlarged prostate, And he went to the hospital, in fact, from the office, this office. He was here in the office. And the appointment was at 4 o'clock to take him to the hospital. So we left this place at 2 o'clock, went home, picked up his stuff, and we went to Jaslok. His prostate was done after 1 or 2 days, and then he was fine, absolutely. So he was on blood thinners. And he had stopped taking blood thinners 2-3 days before this procedure. And meanwhile, they realized that he had a defibrillator. So that the battery of that had also died down. So then it was necessary to replace the battery. And we told the doctor to come to Jaslok to replace the battery, but he was involved. He was connected to this. What is that? Bridge Candy Hospital. So he said, "No, I won't come to Jaslok. You bring him to Bridge Candy." So I told him that, "Doctor, how can after 3 days we shift him? I mean, he needs to be there for 7 days." He said, "No, I won't come there."
I mean, get it done from someone else.
Yeah, whatever.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
Who is this doctor?
Forget it. Let's not talk about. Let's not take names. Anyway, so my brother was adamant, and he shifted him, though I did not want that, and shifted
Samir.
him. He shifted him to
Bridge
Candy, and then the battery was changed. After 2 days, he came home. But the day he came back home, he got a blood clotting in his brain.
While he was undergoing physio.
No, he didn't die that time. He got a blood clot, and we admitted him, rushed him to...
Okay. During the physio session.
No, that is later. That's coming in later.
Mm-hmm.
So he was rushed to the hospital, and they said that he's got a stroke. And he did not come out of that stroke. So and about 5-6 weeks after that, he was at home that time, and he was going through physiotherapy. And after that, he was trying to eat something, and that got choked. And yeah, he died.
But you said he didn't come out of that stroke, means...
No, he couldn't speak. He was more or less like
Achha.
Static.
But food was being fed to him. A little hand movement of the physio.
Yeah. So it wasn't anybody's fault. It was just that. But he was suffering. Those 5 weeks were not good to see him. He was in a bad shape.
You spoke about your brother, and there was a lot of news and articles regarding your family rift with Samir, and you said that he has, kept your mother in custody. And
anyway, let's not talk about that. It's
you haven't been able to meet her. Were you able to meet her later?
No, I was not.
You were not till she passed away?
Yeah, because she was not in her senses, unfortunately.
Achha.
But let's not talk about that. That's very private.
So you mean to say you didn't attend the last rites also as a son?
I did, but that was anyway.
But it was late, huh?
Yeah, it was. That's a very unfortunate part of my life, and my parents' life, our family life.
And अभी भी आप दोनों में इतनी बातचीत कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं है. मैं एक पिक्चर या आपकी इतनी सारी पिक्चरों में से अगर उठाऊं जो अभी मैं नहीं देख सकता, मैंने उसको 2 बार देखा है और दूसरी बार भी मैं नहीं बैठ पाया, लेकिन इतनी अच्छी पिक्चर, इतनी इमोशनल कि देखने वाले उसको 20 बार भी देख सकते हैं, लेकिन मैं नहीं देख सकता. अनुराग. I can't see such films. I mean, let's take Kash also, if you... Mahesh Bhatt's film starring Jackie and Dimple. If you take Millie also. Was that a true story? I had heard it was a true story of someone in Bombay.
It was based on a true story, yes. Slightly. Roxy Cinema के मालिक जो हैं मेहता brothers, केवल चंद, कपूर चंद, third name I don't remember. One of them, they were very wealthy people. They are very wealthy people. Those 3 buildings are there on Marine Drive. If you drive past, you will find those 3 buildings.
Yeah.
And so I don't know whose son had died, and he had only one grandson. And he was brilliant, absolutely. So this child was very brainy, and he, at the age of 4, 5, he could do things that even a 10-year-old, 15-year-old couldn't. And that boy got cancer. So Dad just took this much of the real story and created an entirely new story, which he narrated to me and my mother one day. And we told him, don't make it. It's too tragic. So he said, y'all don't understand. And he made it. Then when we saw the film, the first print, we were totally bowled. I just couldn't imagine that such a dry subject, such a tragic subject, how he could put so much entertainment until almost the end. You know, until the audience comes to know that he's got cancer. The movie runs so quick and so much enjoyment in the film. And then the tragedy strikes, and the last 2 reels are full of tragedy. And the movie did extremely well, not only in India, across the world. In Bolivia, places like Bolivia, Portugal, Russia. I mean, it did fabulous business. And investment to return ratio, if you go to see, that has been the biggest hit of our entire
Shakti Samanta films.
Shakti Samanta films. That and Amanush. Investment to earning ratio. It it is more than Aradhana, Kati, Patang, any other film. So that was the ultimate result of Anurag, which mom and I told not to make. So yes, that movie was something fabulous. I think it was a very difficult subject to handle, but the way he handled the whole thing and the screenplay that he had made was mind-blowing.
But did that gentleman, the Roxy guy, know that permission was taken?
No, it was not his family. I mean, it was just an inspiration from all incidents that happened.
Loosely that grandson and grandfather.
Yeah. So they're totally different characterization. But the inspiration was from that story of their family. Yeah.
Sharmila Tagore, Evening in Paris.
Yes.
The most famous episode where she wore a swimsuit.
I don't know why people talk about that so much, because there are so many other films where other heroines also wore, and she also wore. She wore in Amne Samne with Shashi Kapoor. There was one film. That also she wore a swimming suit. And I remember...
But Amne Samne came after Evening in Paris.
Possibly, yeah.
So maybe. Evening in Paris में जो
right.
हुला बलू हुआ था.
I was very young then, so I am not too aware of the halla hulu. But I vaguely remember that she had posed in Filmfare. And that had created a lot of halla hulu. And
that was before?
That was before Evening in Paris.
While Evening in Paris was being made?
I think before that. Or maybe during. And but I remember that she was very appreciated for that. And she carried it off very well. She was a modern girl. She had a fabulous figure. And she did not look cheap in it. She looked very sophisticated in that. So she carried it off superbly. So it's absolutely...
But your dad, Shakti Samanta sir, was very worried when she insisted that I want to wear...
He didn't want a bikini. He wanted a single swimming costume. Because bikini becomes a little more than what the censors would accept.
Problem हुआ censors के साथ?
नहीं, इसमें नहीं हुआ.
बिल्कुल नहीं.
Bikini में he foresee that he could get into trouble with the censors. So he was, I think, confident that just a swimming costume will not create a controversy with the censors.
So she was wanting to wear a bikini, but he made her wear a swimsuit.
That's what I was told, yeah.
He himself was at the helm of the censor board.
Yes.
He himself helmed censor board
Yes.
for 7 years.
Yes.
I think 1991 to 1998.
Yes.
I remember he was sitting somewhere and somebody told him that आपने माया मेम साहब को क्यों अलाउ किया ये टॉपलेस सीन जो दीपा ने किया था, दीपा जी ने. Shahrukh Khan was in the film and he told that person that the film is poetry. You make poetry, then we'll talk.
He must have found it unobjectionable. He was a very broad-minded person. See, when he was in school, he was his principal was a Britisher. He was in Dehradun and he studied in Dehradun, and his principal was a Britisher. So his outlook to life was very modern. And perhaps that's the reason that even his earliest of films look as if they are today's films. They don't look outdated at all.
Yeah.
Because he was far ahead of his time. So, and his outlook to life was also very modern. His, he never thought of anything that for Indian society seemed like as though it is too modern or something. For him, no, he never saw it that way. He had a very Western outlook to his life.
Then he should have gone with the bikini with Sharmila.
No, he was scared of the censors.
Censors he should have prevailed upon. He should have thought, I'll fight it out.
You've shot a song abroad and then you have censor trouble. Why bother about that?
Because another incident happened with him. I think when Dev Saab had quite a showdown with him. Main 16 Baras Ki was the film, which Dev Saab had made. And the dad objected to a lot of stuff in that film, and Dev Saab said, I'm really upset with you.
I'm not aware of that. Because as far as I know, that producers are very happy with Dad being the chairman at that during his stance. And they were always helped by him. In fact, I remember some people, he helped them on the editing room, that without losing the impact, I will cut it. See, he was not watching the films. The examining committee would watch the film and then make a report what they objected to.
Yeah.
And then Dad had to play a judge between the examining committee and the producer so that both would be happy. He couldn't, he wanted to please both. And for that, he would tell the producers that you come on the editing machine with me, I will show you what you can cut, the way you can cut, so that censor also does not object and you are also happy. And he did that to many, many people, with a lot of people, and they were very happy about that. Because he himself was a filmmaker and a good editor, so he knew how to manage things.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but जब आराधना बना रहे थे शक्ति साहब, तो एक मूवी थी, एक श्रीमान एक श्रीमती, उसकी एंड और आराधना की एंड सिमिलर थी. और एक समय आया जब डैड ने बोला कि मैं रोक देता हूँ अपनी पिक्चर, और कुछ शूटिंग रोक भी दी थी कुछ दिन.
नहीं, फिल्म शुरू नहीं हुई थी. फिल्म शुरू होने से 3-4 दिन पहले Surinder Kapoor ji, Boni Anil Kapoor's father and dad were very close friends. So Surinder Kapoor told Dad, they were both had their office in famous Mahalakshmi. So told Dad that Shakti, if you're free, just come and watch my climax. So Dad said, "Chalo, aata hu." So he went and saw the climax, and he realized that the climax last 2 reels were very similar to what he was going to start, the old Aradhana. And he was very upset, obviously. Then he decided to scrap the film and ask Gulshan Nanda ji, who was coincidentally there, if he had some other story, ready story, which he could start within the next few days. Yeah. So Gulshan Nanda narrated Kati Patang to him. He loved the story. So he bought Kati Patang. Ye shuru karunga. Meanwhile, Madhusudan Kalelkar, who had written our previous, the Jane and Jane, which was also under production. And Gulshan Nanda, who had written the previous film, that is Sawan Ki Gata. They were both there coincidentally, so he started discussing with. They in fact suggested that Sachin Bhaumik ने तो कहा ना कि सिर्फ क्लाइमैक्स सिमिलर है, बाकी कहानी में कुछ मिलता जुलता नहीं है. So then Dad narrated the story to Aradhana's story, and they loved it. They said, दादा ये पिक्चर बहुत अच्छी बन रही है, मतलब स्क्रीन प्ले बहुत अच्छा है, स्टोरी भी बहुत अच्छी है. So let's try to work on it. And both of them sat down at about 4 o'clock in the evening. And by 10 o'clock, they had a new Aradhana totally.
From beginning to end?
No. The entire second half was changed. Instead of just the last 2 reels, the entire second half was changed.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But perhaps Rajesh Khanna died in the first half and a second hero came as the son.
A new hero who did not look like Rajesh Khanna.
Yeah. And I think this second Rajesh Khanna continuing as the son was
the major twist.
Which
was brought in that meeting.
Just imagine one single day how it changed.
But it made history.
It made history, you see.
And who knows, had he made it the original,
it may not have been such a big super hit film.
Yeah.
So you see what happened is, you go see 2 reels and you are so dejected that you want to scrap the film. Then you hear Kati Patang, which is a fabulous story. And you get that in your bucket. Then you change your present script into something super hit. So 2 super hit films took place after a solid dejection. So what a fateful day.
Was Sharmila Tagore Shakti Samanta's favorite heroine?
Well, she was his discovery into Hindi films, and they were very close friends, and she was beautiful and she was lovely to work with. So everything suited for both of them to work with each other.
Why I ask you this is because in Kati Patang, he wanted Sharmila to do the role, but she was pregnant.
Well, Kati Patang, whether he wanted or not, he couldn't take her because she was already pregnant. So obviously he couldn't even approach her for that. So, yeah, so that was...
So if Saif Ali Khan was not on the way that time, Sharmila Tagore would have done Kati Patang and not Asha Parekh.
In fact, Sharmila ji did have a chat with me once, and she was saying, oh, I would have done Kati Patang, but unfortunately I was pregnant. So I told her, well, you got something better.
Yeah.
You got Saif. She said, oh, of course. So that was a conversation.
Are you in touch with her?
Yeah, I am in touch with her.
Who else are you in touch with from that whole starry kingdom which your father had?
I'm in touch with Sharmila ji. I'm in touch with Asha ji. I'm in touch with... then I am with Moushumi very regularly. Then I also met Helen ji. Then I met... I keep in touch with Mithun. Mithun, of course, I have also worked with him in several films. Yeah, that's it.
But your dad was such an integral part of Rajesh Khanna's life. He must have said something to you or allowed something. Such a glorious career, one after the other. Movies, hits, super hits. Suddenly comes to a sudden end.
There were a couple of reasons for that. Firstly, our audience taste changed. After in the 80s, if you notice that there were only action type of films being made. I mean, including, we were also making action movies. I was making action movies. Even Dad had shifted towards action. So we were making action movies, and Rajesh Khanna was a romantic hero. And social films were not doing well in general. So people stopped making social films, or less of social films were being made, and more action films were being made. So that was one reason. Then Kaka also joined politics during that period, I think, and he was quite busy with politics and staying in Delhi, etc. Another factor which I personally felt was, being a romantic hero, he should have looked after his health. You look nice. Let's look at Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan, Salman Khan, all these guys. Even they're 60, even, okay, now they're looking a little bit old, but until 55 or so, they were looking so handsome. So Kaka's face, if you just see his earlier films and his latter films, there is a lot of weight on the face, which a romantic hero needs to, look nice on screen.
So how do you do that? I mean, how do you look after yourself if such a thing happens? Are you hinting that Rajesh Khanna never exercised, or
He never exercised.
he consumed a lot of alcohol?
He did consume a lot of alcohol. Late nights. You have to control your diet, you have to control drinking, and you have to exercise. See Dharamji. That man, he had those spells of drinking. For 1 month he would drink a lot and all that. But then for 3 months he would stop drinking. He would exercise. 7 o'clock he would wake up and play 2 hours of badminton. And
Achha, constantly used to alternate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he looked after himself damn well. And that's why even at the 80, whatever age that he was looking so handsome. So Dharamji looked after himself very well. Then all these younger heroes looked after themselves very well. Jitendraji also looked after himself very well. The Kapoors did not look after themselves very well. And though they were the handsomest lot, they did not have such a long career spell. They should have had much longer.
So
careers.
talented. I mean,
yeah.
The talent of Rishi Kapoor, I can write a book.
Yes, and Rishi Kapoor also had a little long career thanks to Neetu. Neetu was after his life. She controlled him so much about his drinking, about his eating, and I was witness to it.
You went to their house?
Not to their house, but at a party, I remember. Rishi was very close to me, since school days, in fact. So
You studied together?
No, we didn't study. He's older. He was 4 years older than me. But he used to. I used to go to Matunga very often, in that lane where Prithviraj Kapoor lived.
Okay.
So he would be there very often. I would go to Madan Puri's house.
Achha.
Madan Puri's son and I were very close friends.
Okay.
And we would play together. We would play cricket together on the road. So Rishi Kapoor, Madan Puri's son, myself, and music. So it happened a couple of times, more than a couple of times. So I remember spending some time at some parties with Rishi Kapoor sitting next to me, and he's saying,
and Neetu also sitting there, asking him to stop drinking.
Neetu was sitting with the women, and guys were sitting in one side. And Neetu, देख रही है क्या? मुझे पूछा, हाँ देख रही है. अरे यार, like he wanted to cheat and drink or eat or I don't know. I'm told, this is hearsay, that Jennifer Kapoor was very strict with Shashi Kapoor. That's why he maintained himself. Otherwise, the Kapoors just go. After Jennifer Kapoor died, Shashi Kapoor went expanded.
Your dad, I remember, this I've read, but maybe you also know, went on to tell Shami Kapoor one day that your waist does not fit in the lens.
Not exactly this way. Told Shami Kapoor that, Shami, how will I shoot with you? You won't come in the 35mm frame.
Vicky baat hai na?
So then he said, no, you wait for a few months, I'll reduce. This was Jaane Anjane.
And then?
So Jaane Anjane was stalled for 6 months. And during that period, he thought of making Aradhana.
Achha.
And that's how Aradhana.
And then Jaane Anjane mein he didn't reduce?
No, he did not.
And then it was completed?
Yeah.
I remember Dad wanted, Shakti Samanta wanted Rajkumar in Amar Prem.
I know for certain that Rajkumar and Dad were very, very close friends. very close friends, because they, even before Rajkumar ji became an actor and Raj became a director, they were friends. And that friendship continued throughout their life. Because at parties they would just gang up together and spend wonderful time together. And Dad had told me one thing, that Rajkumar always tells me, Shakti तुम मुझे लेता नहीं है. और मैं हमेशा उनको बोलता हूँ कि यार राज, तेरी और मेरी दोस्ती बहुत, we are very close friends. And from what I hear of your temperament, if we work together, we'll have a fight. So it's better that our friendship stays and we don't work together.
Did he come home?
No, but he came for all the big parties that we, and for example, my marriage reception, for our Jubilee functions, he was there.
Did you see any kind of attitude, starry,
No.
tantrum?
Dad and he were very close friends. Very close friends. They were buddies, in fact.
Incidentally, your dad got along with two heroes who were considered to be difficult, Rajesh Khanna and Rajkumar.
Yeah.
That's very strange.
I don't think Rajesh Khanna was difficult.
Wasn't easy.
I don't think, even with others, I don't think Rajesh Khanna, see, how could he be so difficult? I think these are rumors, probably. This is what I feel, I don't know. Maybe he did trouble some couple of producers or something like that. But there could be other reasons, Some people don't pay and then expect the hero to report. So these are the other part of it which we are not aware of. So if the actor is paid on time and
Respected on the set.
Yeah, so then I don't think there should be a problem. Yes, Rajesh Khanna respected Dad, so he didn't throw any tantrums of coming late and all that.
He never came late for Shakti Samanta's film. Because late आना तो एक उनका signature था.
I don't think he came very late. He may have come little late.
Because three people are known to come late. Rajesh Khanna, Shatru and Govinda.
Govinda and Shatruji I have worked with. And yes, they always came late. But one thing about both of these two people, I can tell you that for Shatruji and Govinda, they would come late, but there was not a single day that I did not complete my shooting.
Yeah, I've heard this. Shatru came late, but he finished
his work.
He used to memorize the lines so fast.
He could remember a 3-page scene in two readings. He was so good. And I had worked as an assistant to Brij Sadhana, who was making Bombay 405 Miles with Shatrughan Sinha. So I knew his style of work. And I knew that with Shatruji, you can compose a longish shot and take the whole scene in one shot and just punch in some close-ups here and there. My movie was Akhribazi. Akhribazi, and in Bengali it was called Mastan.
Yeah.
It was a double version movie.
And Govinda?
Same movie. Both were in the same movie. And Shatruji dubbed the Bengali himself. He knows Bengali very well. For Govinda, we got it dubbed, the Bengali dubbed by somebody else.
Govinda could also memorize
the lines, yeah.
Very fast?
Not as fast as Shatruji. Nobody as fast as Shatruji. So, Govinda, for him, for Bengali version, we used to put cutter stands all over the place with the lines, the Bengali lines written in Hindi. So he would read the lines and speak the lines. Even for Amit ji and Amjad Saab, we would write the Bengali lines on the cutter stands. Because Barsat Ki Ek Raat was made in double version. Anusandhan was the Bengali version.
But this Barsat Ki Ek Raat, why do you think it didn't do as well in Hindi as it did in Bengali?
I analyzed this. I was very interested in understanding this part of it. And then I realized what happened. You see, when the Bengali shots were taken, I could see Amit ji and Amjad ji, both of them, putting in their 100%. into the scene. Because they were like determined. Yeah, Bengali mein first time kar rahe hain, we have to do well. That determination was there. And in Hindi, they took it easy. One of the usual stuff type. And this is our mother tongue, so we can speak comfortably. So that extra effort that goes into sometimes was not there at all. So when I saw the Bengali version, I saw the Bengali version, all of us saw the Bengali version earlier. Because it was to release a little earlier, so that was ready earlier. And we were very thrilled with the film. Then when we saw the Hindi version, now same film, same shots, same dialogue, same songs, everything same. Yet, when you saw the Bengali versions, wow. When you saw the Hindi version, nice. So wow and nice mein bahut farak hai.
I remember your dad was very nervous when Amanush released and you were sitting in the projector room.
Yeah. See, that was the first film.
What was that? I mean,
Normally
you used to sit with the crowd and see.
Yes. So the Bengali movie, the Bengali version of Amanush when it released, that was his first film. And it was, he's from Bengal, so, and he very, very popular in Bengal. उनको obviously लगा कि ये मेरा इज्जत का सवाल है. ये फिल्म अगर नहीं चली तो I mean, it would be a big slap on his ego. So he was very nervous. Though the film was wonderful, everybody appreciated it in the trials. So now on the release day, he was very, very nervous. Because he was not sure whether the Bengali audience would accept a movie which is not Bengali style of movie. It was more a Hindi style of a movie.
Yeah.
So he did not have the guts to watch it with the audience. So he went into the projection room and through the peephole, he was watching the whole movie. When the movie got over, somebody leaked the information to the audience.
That he's around.
That he is in the projection room. So all those 900 people who were watching the film, instead of going out, they came inside towards the projection room and started shouting Shakti Samanta Zindabad and all that stuff. So that was a high which he had never seen. When he came out of the projection room and they lifted him up and put him on their shoulders and only praises and praises and praises. He said that I was crying with happiness. He said that I just couldn't control. And they made him promise that every year you will give us a film, a Bengali film, along with your Hindi films. That sort of. And they did not let him down and they carried him outside to his car. And outside there were another 900 people waiting to get in. कि ये 900 निकले और 900 लोग अंदर आए.
That adulation those days were different, number one, and the kind of films your dad made, one after the other.
Yeah, the adulation was huge. I have Reflected Glory, I have also seen a lot of that.
So Aradhana, I remember, when I had seen the first time, I was shocked with that scene where she throws water. Sharmila throws water and Rajesh Khanna is standing at the door.
Yeah.
Did you ask your dad कि एक shot, एक scene ये एक retake में हुआ कि नहीं?
हाँ, एक में हो गया ना.
एक में हुआ?
हाँ, because you are aware ना कि.
हाँ, but exact वो पानी उस पे लगे,
वो पानी फेंका किसने वो पता नहीं. शर्मिला ने नहीं फेंका होगा, वो किसी डैड ने फेंका होगा या तो कोई असिस्टेंट ने फेंका होगा. Because it's a separate shot, so anybody could be throwing the water from outside the frame. But what a fabulous scene that was. Mind-blowing scene.
Yeah, if I close my eyes, I remember two scenes. One is that.
And one is the sun coming back.
Yeah, that scene where he walks from the plane.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And he says, शायद मैंने आपको पहले कहीं देखा है. And that वो अंदाज जो है उसका देखा है बोलना. Oh my God.
It was
and he looks so handsome there.
Oh, yeah. That was something else. And the background score that Panchamda had scored the background of Aradhana. Mind-blowing.
Hey, Allah.
The way he, with a lot of tempo. Panchamda was such a genius. And I think today I just thank God that he gave me an opportunity to spend so much time with Panchamda and work with him and all that. What a genius. What a pleasure. Those memories of him, the time spent with him, and are priceless.
R.D. Burman, SD Burman, both were associated with the
Dad, yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
So, what would you say about them? I mean, any instances you remember where songs were done and redone? Because I've heard these kind of stories कि अगर पसंद नहीं आया तो फिर से होता था, फिर से लोग बैठते थे. आजकल तो खैर नहीं होता है. वो हम बोल चुके हैं पहले से, फ़ोन आता है कि ये दो वो दो, एक दुकान है. बट वो किससे हुए आपके?
नहीं, हमारे रीडन तो कभी नहीं हुआ. गाने रिकॉर्ड हुआ, वही एक्सेप्ट हो गया था.
नहीं, रीडन फॉर द सेक ऑफ still bettering it. It's 9 out of 10. Let's make it 10 out of 10.
We have had instances where the singing has been redone, but the orchestra redone never.
Like with who? Where the song was resung.
Resung, I think my last movie, Ye Jo Mohabbat Hai,
Okay.
we experimented with some new voices and then we got established voices to sing it.
Okay.
That was the only incident that I remember right from 1970 till today. Only one instance. Otherwise...
Your dad had a very nice way of, bringing up suspense films. I think पहले start में तो काफी suspense films थी.
yeah, crime thrillers. You can say
Havra Bridge, Inspector,
Chinatown and all those.
Chinatown, and even Sawan Ki Ghata had
Yes.
a large element of suspense. Then he moved over
to social. But even in the social, for example, I'll tell you, Aradhana starts with a suspense. It's a court scene where she is sentenced for the murder for 14 years.
Yeah.
The audience is now wondering, what the hell, yaar? The heroine has murdered somebody. Who has she murdered?
Yeah.
So, the very first scene is super suspense. In Kati Patang, Asha Parekh runs away from the wedding, her own wedding, and goes to meet her boyfriend, who is Prem Chopra, and who is hiding Bindu behind the curtains. So it creates a super suspense, a super hook.
Yeah.
आगे क्या होने वाला है?
Yeah. और ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है?
Then Amanush, he had a very non-linear screenplay, which for 1974-75, it was something very new. Non-linear scripts started happening in 2000, post-2000. Non-linear scripting in 1970s, I don't remember any.
Your dad, in 1979, did a film with Amitabh Bachchan.
Yes.
Great Gambler. Songs were excellent, picturization was beautiful, but the film did not ring bells at the box office.
It did well, but not as well as most Amitabh films would be doing. It gave us good money. And the Bengali version was super duper hit. So we made a lot of money in that movie. And the distributors also earned a lot of money.
But वो story, उसका जो dialogues, वो ऐसे जैसे आप के डैड की फिल्म के याद रह जाते थे, जकड़ लेते थे.
वो नहीं हुआ.
वो नहीं हुआ, ऐसा क्यों?
I analyzed this recently, that post Amanush, in fact, you see, the success of Amanush was so huge, and Amanush did well across the country. Even the Hindi version did tremendous business. It was the 11th biggest hit of the year. And you're talking of 1975, which Sholay, Diwar and such films were there, and there, along with these movies, Amanush was number 11.
Standing
highest.
tall.
Yeah. And with, Uttam Kumar was not a star as far as Hindi audience was concerned. And highly appreciated movie. Bengal, of course, it did a business of over 1 crore of rupees officially. बाकी पता नहीं कितना unofficial होगा, वो तो पता ही नहीं है. But that 1 crore, if you see the valuation of 1 crore money value as on 2025, it is 70 crores. No movie has done more than 40 crores or 45 crores in Bengal ever, till today. So you can just imagine what sort of... So after that success and after the humongous appreciation and adulation by the audience, he got quite flawed by, wanting to do bilinguals.
Dad got into the trap, you mean?
Trap of doing bilinguals. So he wanted to do Hindi along with Bengali. So now Barsat Ki Ek Raat is a bilingual. Hindi, Bengali. So now what happens is when you want to make a bilingual, you are leaning towards
Comparisons.
Bengali stories, Bengali type of stories.
Okay.
Not universally. So Barsat Ki Ek Raat is a Bengali novel which was adapted.
And then you're trying to bring them into Hindi.
Yeah. So that was... Now this is looking back in 2026. I'm looking back what happened that time. So that time neither did I realize nor did Dad realize. But looking back, when you think what were the reasons, this was perhaps one of the reasons.
So what was the reason for Great Gambler? उसमें तो Bengali हुआ नहीं था.
No, it was a very modern type of story.
Was it too stylish for somebody to accept it as a Shakti Samanta film?
No, I don't think so. See, every film cannot become super hit. Even Great Gambler is amongst the 10 or 12 hits of the year, whichever year it was. So it was not that it was not. Yes, during that period when Great Gambler released, Amitabh Bachchan films would do, say, 100 crores, this did maybe 50 crores. Not 100 crores, I'm talking about that time it was 1 crore. 1 crore business of those bigger other films. This may have done 50 lakhs. I don't know the figures, I'm just giving them. So, it was a successful film. It was not a super hit. It was a hit because I know that it was one of the, amongst the 10 or 11 or 12 hit films of that particular year.
There was one more film which I think disappointed, and that was in 1976, made by Shakti Samanta, your dad, Mehbooba. The music was super hit.
Yes.
That's my wife's favorite LP. She had bought an LP and she has still preserved it.
Yeah.
She loved the film, but the film didn't do well for the public.
The film did not fare very well in Bombay circuit. That's why the conception of people in the industry is it did not fare very well. But the film was a big hit in Bengal. It was a big hit in Rajasthan. And otherwise it was average grosser. I asked Mushir Riaz, the producers, and they said we made a lot of money. So it did make a lot of money. Now, what I felt when you look back, when you watch the film, you realize that the entire flashback portion was superb. The songs and the picturization, the screenplay, everything was superb. But the modern portion, which was about 30% of the film, that did not hold at all. So, yeah, so because of, overall it dulled the film down a little bit.
In totality, people didn't like it.
In totality, people did not care for it as much.
Your memories of Alag Alag?
Alag Alag
1985.
Yes, Alag Alag, we had seen a Pakistani film. Rajesh Khanna had brought that film over and we loved it. So that was a story of a young innocent girl and a young boy. So when Rajesh Khanna said that I want to play this role with Tina, so Dad told him that Kaka, this role is not suitable for you. Now, can you imagine love story or Bobby with an older couple? It doesn't work. So Rajesh Khanna said, no, I want to play this role. Daddy said that do the role which you want Shashi Kapoor for. Let's take a new boy for this role.
And cast Tina.
And cast Tina, because he wanted to cast her. Because Tina looked very innocent even then.
Yeah, but they were dating that time.
They were dating that time.
Yeah.
And so, but he insisted that he wanted to play the role of, and that itself spoiled the film.
But your dad went with it.
I guess he had no option.
क्यों?
He insisted और दोस्त थे तो हो जाता है.
गाने तो जबरदस्त थे.
बहुत fantastic गाने.
मतलब
mind blowing songs.
I think as good as Aradhana and Amar Prem Kati Patang.
Yeah. Very good songs. Yeah. But miscast for that story.
तो दोस्त को बोला एंड में कि मतलब बाद में बोला दोस्त को कि मैंने बोला था आपको.
He knew it.
Rajesh Khanna knew it.
Of course he knew it. He was an intelligent man.
So why he wanted to do it? Just because of Tina?
Tina, whatever, I don't know. The movie bombed miserably, despite such fabulous songs. Whereas in Mehbooba, the movie did pretty well, though, because it did not fare well in Bombay. That's why the film industry feels that it was a flop, but it wasn't a flop. But Alag Alag was a flop. Total write-off.
And a few other films towards the end, before Devdas. Arpar, Dushman, Gitanjali.
Arpar, again, was a double version film made with Bangladesh heroines. It was designed to be a Bengali film, but by the way Mithun hai to double version kar liya. वो double version Hindi बिल्कुल नहीं चली. Bengali version, the movie did 2 crores in Bangladesh, 4 crores in Bangladesh, which is 2 crores in Indian rupees, and 2 crores in West Bengal. So you can imagine that movie, and that movie was made for 30 lakhs. Both versions combined together 30 lakh. It was a co-production with Bangladesh. So our contribution was 30 lakhs. Their contribution was 30 lakhs. So 30 lakhs का 2 crore सिर्फ बंगाली से मिल गया. हिंदी में कुछ नहीं मिला, चलेगा. So that was. Then which other film?
Dushman, Gitanjali.
Dushman was very average, and so it fared also average. Music bhi Panchamda at his lowest was not good. During that period, Panchamda was not keeping well. So during that period, when he was not keeping well, whatever music he gave in other people's films also were not good. Then came Gitanjali. Gitanjali, actually what happened is, I had liked this story very much and I was to make it. And we had signed Rekha for some other film, which we decided not to make. And that was a social film. It was a remake of a Bengali film. That Bengali film released and it bombed. So then Dad said, let's not make it. Now we had signed her, so we thought then I had liked this story very much. And I was going to make the film as my independent film. So Dad said that let's cast Rekha in it. Now when we cast Rekha, who to cast as a hero? Because we need somebody of her age. Then we took Chitinder. Then Rekha loved the story. So Rekha told Dad, Shakti ji, why don't you direct it? Such a beautiful story, please, please, please. So Dad very reluctantly said yes. Actually, Dad didn't want to direct it. It was not a subject which Dad was
very kicked about.
Not his type of story. He was he had shifted away from crime to this was a crime story.
But you were going to do it, no?
I was going to do it, but then because Rekha said please, please, please.
अच्छा, हाँ.
So Dad said okay, I'll do it.
अनुरोध के भी गाने बहुत अच्छे थे.
बहुत अच्छे थे.
Your dad had an excellent ear for music.
Oh yeah, and there unfortunately, it was
that one line that Reshmi Rumal mila hai, that you remember that?
Yeah.
Unforgettable.
Oh yeah. There, I think because of casting simple heroine, that backfired.
Who suggested Simple's name?
Rajesh Khanna. He wanted Simple. He insisted.
उसका career शुरू हुआ. Dimple sister.
Yeah. She was not made to be a heroine, actually, unfortunately. Otherwise, that movie would have been the success. Despite simple, it did pretty okay. Okay, I mean.
My mom used to love that song.
The songs were very nice.
Aate Jaate Khoobsurat.
Yeah, Lakshmikant Pyara. All the songs were nice. But there are two factors to it. One was simple, and one was Vinod Mehra's role. That was a little boring. So the first half was like this. It just was so.
And then that illness you show of Vinod Mehra.
Yeah, that was boring. That should have been cut into half. That dragged the film.
But Vinod Mehra was such a good actor.
Yes, of course he was. But, you know, screenplay has to be...
Yeah.
So it didn't.
I mean, with Anurag में ही देख लो आप आपके ही पिक्चर में बेमिसाल of course वो तो बेमिसाल ही है रोल.
No, he did comedy also very well. In Mahmood's films, he did comedy superb.
My wife loves Khwab also, 1980, Mithun and Ranjita. She says, मेरे को आने के पहले बोल रही थी कि आशिम को जरूर बोलना कि मेरे को एक एक सीन याद है.
Okay.
Now that I was little surprised because ख्वाब की scenes याद कर रखना और
एक flop film की actually.
हाँ मतलब पिक्चर अच्छी थी
नहीं
but
चली थी.
इतनी बार शायद उन्होंने देखी है या उसको इतनी अच्छी लगी.
No, it was a good story actually. It was a good story, but it didn't fare well. Music was also not anything exciting.
But Mithun and Ranjita had fantastic chemistry.
Yeah, music was not good, I'm saying. Music, only one song was good. Yeah, that film did not fare well.
So if you are asked that number one among this whole list of your dad's films,
Yeah.
what would you put your hand on?
It's very difficult to say number one. I have quite a few of them my favorite films. I would say Amanush, Aradhana, Anurag, Amar Prem. Amar Prem would be the number one film. And then Amanush, very close to it. Then Aradhana.
Pushpa, I hate tears. वो अमर प्रेम का डायलॉग
Yeah, that was in the
कैसे
book.
बना वो अंदाज बोलने का राजेश
No, the
खन्ना का
writer had written that dialogue in his novel. That dialogue was also there in the Bengali version, and Uttam Kumar had said it the same way. So Rajesh Khanna did.
But राजेश खन्ना का ज़्यादा फेमस हुआ.
Yeah, because he said it beautifully. Rajesh Khanna said it beautifully. Rajesh Khanna was a fantastic actor. He was damn good. And but he got inspired by Uttam Kumar's acting there. Uttam Kumar was also a fabulous actor. So, you know, two great actors taking from each other.
But ये राजेश खन्ना का जो आंखें करने का जो स्टाइल था
that was his speciality.
वो रेगुलर लाइफ में भी था जब आते थे घर पे
नहीं
कि खाली स्क्रीन के लिए था ये.
स्क्रीन के लिए था. Screen के लिए था. I have seen him during Aradhana. I was there. It was my October vacations. I was in school, and it was my October vacations. So we had gone along for the outdoor shooting to Manali, and his room was on the ground floor, and I was in the garden. And I noticed that he was standing in front of a mirror for a very long time. So I asked my production fellow, what's he doing in front of the mirror for so long? He's rehearsing the scenes. Can you imagine? He was rehearsing the scenes. So he must be rehearsing his mannerisms, etc. A lot of effort goes in these, the works of these successful people. For example, Kishore Kumar. He never came for a recording unless he had rehearsals. For example, Dada Moni, he would I was doing a film with him, Aankhon Mein Tum Ho, 96, 97. And that must have been, he must have worked in 500 films before that, maybe 1,000 films before that. And he wanted his scenes few days in advance. He read his scenes multiple times, and he came totally prepared. Imagine after doing 500, 700,000 films, yet you prepare yourself, totally prepared. Means what? I mean, he has read every line. He has told me, "ये reputation है निकाल दूँ," मैंने बोला निकाल दीजिए. He comes that prepared. So that is why Dada.
Don't get actors like Ashok Kumar.
So that
He
is
was
why
special.
He was special.
He was
Absolutely
special. That style of even removing the specs
everything.
every now and then.
He taught me so much. Just those 7-8 days working with him, I would say my level of knowledge went from 50 to 100. That much in those 5, 7, 8 days. I'm the biggest fan of Ashok Kumar. He was something else.
Same here.
The dedication. I mean, I could have a 1-hour conversation just about him. He was so good.
I missed that interview. I missed interviewing him. My interview was set up by his daughter Preeti. And I had set off from the afternoon office. I used to write for the afternoon then. And I was about to take a train from Churchgate. And I got a call from the editor that, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm at Churchgate." He said, "Return back to the office." I said, "What happened?" He said, "He's passed away."
Oh, no.
I said, "What?" I can't believe it.
Yeah.
He said, "No, please come back." That is the interview which
Yeah, that would have been a golden interview.
remained in my head. कि क्यों नहीं हुआ? क्यों नहीं हुआ?
He was something else. That man was absolutely fabulous.
किशोर दा के साथ शक्ति सामंता के ताल्लुकात बहुत अच्छे होंगे ज़रूर.
बहुत अच्छे.
Because ऐसा
हाँ,
गाना, इस तरह से गाना, of course उन्होंने हर पिक्चर में गाया. But इतनी पिक्चरों में गाया आपके बैनर के लिए.
Yeah, Kishore Kumar and Dad, go back to when Dad was an assistant. Before, I mean, in the struggling days, before he became an actor, before he became a director. Dad has worked with Kishore Kumar as an assistant director in few films, then as a director in few films, then in so many films as a playback singer. So it's a very long association. Very, very long association. So with the Ganguly family, Ashok Kumar, Kishore Kumar and Anup Kumar, I would say Dad's relationship was the closest. If you could even say that he was the fourth brother. So that close, I would say.
He was also moody, they say.
Who?
Kishore da.
I have not really spent...
Or too funny maybe.
I have not spent too much time. I've just seen him
With
singing
Kishore,
every song because he was not a very social. He didn't go to social gatherings, etc. And but during recordings, he was absolutely fine. He was funny, yes. Dad and he shared a lot of jokes. And naturally, when you have an association of decades, so obviously you share a terrific relationship.
Both were so talented. Ashok Kumar and Kishore Kumar.
Yeah. Extremely talented and very hardworking. That is the main thing. That work that they put in, effort that they put in into their work.
It's sad that the third brother couldn't
unfortunate. That
make much into the industry. Make much inroads.
Everybody's luck is not as good. But he was talented, he was good. See, everybody doesn't have the luck.
Anup Kumar.
But Dad gave him a lot of chances. Kashmir Ki Kali, he had a good role. Then in Amar Prem, he had a small little role, but a very prominent role.
So, who are you in touch with, Ashim? From the starry kingdom which your father, Shakti Samanta, had?
Well, I'm in touch with Sharmila ji quite often. With Asha ji, I used to be in touch with her until very recently, because we both are trustees of Film Industry Welfare Trust, so where we have 3 to 4 meetings a year. So we would meet regularly there. And then I'm constantly in touch with Moushumi. She's a very close friend of our family. So we meet very often. We go to each other's houses. And then I met Helen ji a couple of times. I keep in touch with Mithun. Amit ji also, I bumped into him a couple of times. Jaya Bachchan ji also, I keep bumping into her somewhere or the other. Yeah, that's about it.
I hope the paps haven't caught you with Jaya Bachchan and she has got angry with you in the frame, which has become a very common phenomenon now whenever she's around.
No pants were around.
So, I remember in film Amar Prem, I could be wrong, but your dad told Rajesh Khanna that you just copy from the Bengali version, Uttam Kumar. बस बिल्कुल ये करो, ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं, that's it.
Rajesh Khanna did copy Uttam Kumar in a few scenes. See, Uttam Kumar had done fabulously in that film. That film was good, but it was not a fabulous film from my point of view. And but Uttam Kumar was excellent. He was really fabulous. And Rajesh Khanna did see that film once, and he saw few scenes again. So perhaps Dad had told him just check out certain scenes.
Ashim, what happened Ayash? Because you had the most talented actor, Sanjeev Kumar, you had Rati Agnihotri.
Yes.
1982.
Ayash is an interesting thing, which now when I look back, I realize it's not that I thought of this before the movie started. Firstly, I feel that though Sanjeev Kumar was a fabulous actor, but I don't think he was suitable for that role. We needed somebody.
That's a very loaded statement you're making.
See, I am a huge fan of Sanjeev Kumar. I feel Ashok Kumar, Sanjeev Kumar are two of the best actors we have ever had. So if I'm saying this, I felt it strongly. For this particular role, Rajesh Khanna was more suitable. Rajesh Khanna would suit this role fabulously. It's totally my personal viewpoint. Now, I'm a great fan of Sanjeev Kumar and I'm saying this, so it's something else. Secondly, what happened is, during the sittings, music sittings, we loved the songs.
Ravindra
Jain. But as soon as the recording took place, we did not like the songs.
ऐसा क्यों?
I have no idea why we felt that way. एक गाना हमको सिटिंग में बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, रिकॉर्डिंग में बिल्कुल अच्छा.
पर उन्होंने तो वही दिया होगा ना?
वही दिया, लेकिन पता नहीं ऑन इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन, ऑर्केस्ट्राइजेशन में क्या गड़बड़ हुआ कि वो गाने अच्छे नहीं लग रहे थे. एनीवे, पिक्चर बन गई.
आपने डैडी से कहा कि ये गाने अब सिमिलर नहीं लग रहे हैं थोड़े?
नहीं कहा नहीं, लेकिन I mean I just felt it.
डैड ने नहीं फील किया?
I didn't ask him actually, so I wouldn't know. Anyway, we saw the first show. As soon as the first print was ready, we saw it in the lab, and we both, just two of us were there, and the cameraman was there, and we sat in the car, and Dad told me ये picture नहीं चलेगी. I said नहीं चलेगी, और वही हुआ, पिक्चर नहीं चली. उसके कई साल बाद दूरदर्शन के जो चीफ थे, उन्होंने डैड से कहा था कोई दिल्ली में कोई मीटिंग में कि आप अपनी फिल्म्स को 2 घंटे में अगर काट के डाल सकते हैं तो एक 2 घंटे का स्लॉट में आपको for 30 weeks I'll give you and you show one movie of yours. So dad thought कि चलो जरा ट्राई करते हैं एडिट करके. तो फर्स्ट फिल्म ही एडिटेड वाज अय्याश. तो उन्होंने वो फिल्म 2 घंटे में 1 hour 57 minutes 8 minutes में करके मुझे बोला कि आशिम आके देख लो. तो मैंने जाके देखा. अब अय्याश हमको जो बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं आई थी, वो फिल्म मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी. मैंने बोला ये कैसे हो गया? The film which we did not like at all, both of us did not like, and now I like it very much. That means the songs were the hampering factor. And the
अच्छा, songs कुछ कम किए थे?
Songs उड़ा दिए सारे, पूरे उड़ा दिए.
अच्छा.
All the songs were cut off.
अच्छा.
एक सिर्फ आलाप जैसा या मुखड़ा जैसा रखा एक गाने का, बस बाकी सब उड़ा दिए. And the songs leading to the song, the scenes leading to the songs were also removed.
Okay.
So it became crisp.
Very tight, yeah.
It became tight and became fantastic.
And still you feel that Sanjeev
No,
Kumar
now-
was not suited to the role in that crisp version?
No, the songs may have looked better with, I don't know.
With Rajesh Khanna.
Yeah, now I myself take back my statement. But yes, so I don't know. But I felt that time that Rajesh Khanna should have been there.
But Rajesh Khanna ko you could have cast. That didn't occur to you both? Neither to your dad nor to you?
No, it did not. And I think when we were making Ayyash, Rajesh Khanna was a little bit out of the industry sort of thing. Nobody was casting. And he had, I think, joined politics that time or something like that.
That period when Rajesh Khanna was out of the industry and Amitabh Bachchan had taken over, did your dad have any conversations which you remember where Rajesh Khanna expressed his displeasure or frustration?
See, we met Rajesh Khanna. He came over to our place now and then, yes. Even during his political journey. And see, they were very close to each other. So obviously he came home. But I never saw, I was not witness to any frustration of his. That I was not.
Disappointment?
No, I never saw.
Anger?
No.
Ashim, it has been a wonderful conversation.
Thank you so much.
And a very comprehensive one.
Yep.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.